Hey, what's up everyone? My name's Nigel and I got a really quick video today. Today we are just going to be talking about step-up rings and how they can be useful for your workflow, as well as some of my favorite step-up rings, because not all step-up rings and step-down rings are created equal. Basically what a step-up ring is it takes the diameter of the filter thread on your lens and you can adapt that filter size to basically any filter size that you need it to adapt to. So for instance, I have my Panasonic Leica 12mm and this has a 62mm filter size. And so I have a 62 to 77mm step-up ring. And that allows me to not only cover it with 77mm lens cap, but I can also obviously put 77mm accessories like my variable ND. So what's nice about having step-up rings is that you can standardize all of your lenses. So for instance, my little Panasonic 25mm f1.4, this one has a filter diameter of 46mm, and so I actually have a step-up ring stepping this up to a 77mm filter size. So again, I can fit it with the exact same lens caps and the exact same variable ND filters that I could use on all of my lenses. Now, as far as what step-up rings you should get, there are a lot of them out there and they kind of vary in price and quality. As you can see, I have a lot of different step-up rings, and these are just some of the step-up rings that I've bought. I'm sure I have more kicking around somewhere, but I've had a lot of different lenses throughout my career and they all have different filter sizes, and so I've always had to like step them up either to like a 58 or a 77mm. Those are like the two sizes that I typically use. I used to have a 58mm variable ND, and so I would step everything up to that size, but now I use 77mm, so I step everything up to that size. And some of the really cheap ones are made by like Altura and Sensei, and these are all pretty good. I will caution you though, some of the really cheap step-up rings can actually end up getting stuck onto your lens. If you get a really cheap step-up ring and it ends up getting caught on your threads and you're not able to get it off. So I would actually advise spending a little bit more money in step-up rings. The step-up rings that I'm currently using for both of my Panasonic Leica lenses are actually ones that I found pretty recently, and they're by the Luzid brass step-up rings. So I have the Luzid brass 46 to 77mm step-up ring and another Luzid brass 62 to 77mm step-up ring. And I really like these. They feel really high quality, especially the 46 to 77. It's actually pretty hefty of a step-up ring, but I haven't had any problems with these, and they definitely feel really premium. So that's the brand that I would definitely recommend because I've had the least problem with these. But with that being said, I haven't really had any problems using these cheaper ones. I just like the feel of these Luzid brass ones a little bit better. There are also some lens hoods that you can kind of use as a step-up ring. For instance, I have this JJC lens hood that I believe it's a 46mm to 58mm. It's a 46mm at the bottom, but then at the end of this lens hood, it has a 58mm thread on it. And I use these for a while. I use this with like my Panasonic 14mm. And these kind of lens hoods are great, but one thing you have to watch out for is don't get the lens hoods with these like open areas right here, because as you would expect, if it's not blocking the light here, light is gonna get in and it's gonna cause some really weird light leaks into your shot, especially if you have a variable ND filter on the top. So if you did wanna get a lens hood that also had a filter on the end of it, I would look into getting filters that are closed all the way around so it actually blocks the light from coming in. But you have to realize that once you start bringing other pieces of glass further and further away from the front element of your lens, you're gonna get some kind of weird flaring and ghosting. So I would honestly recommend just sticking with a step-up ring and not doing this unless you just really like having a hood on your lens. But yeah, that's how I use step-up rings. I typically don't use step-down rings because I always try to have my filter be actually bigger than the actual front element on my lens. So I wouldn't really want to put a smaller filter onto a lens and risk it vignetting or something like that. So step-down rings do exist, and sometimes they work as long as the front element of your lens is smaller than the actual filter that you're trying to put on. But I would honestly recommend just getting a bigger filter than what your lens is so you can standardize all of your lenses to have the same filter size. Anyways, that was just a really quick video on how and why I use step-up rings. So I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, it'd be really cool if you hit the like button. Be sure to subscribe to my channel. There's links to everything in the description. Thank you so much for watching. You can click over here if you want to check out some of my other videos. But until then, I will see you next time. Later.